Hello, Class 11th student. Today I'm going to start Chapter 7 from your book Production Function. Okay, this chapter is not having too much content. We are able to cover this chapter in this video only. Okay, so this chapter is going to have only one part. So let us start this chapter. First of all, what do you mean by production function? So I'm going to explain in my own way than with the book. Okay, what do you mean by production function? So simply, if we write in equations, so Q is the function of L and K. Okay, L stand for variable factor and K stand for fixed factor. Okay, so in this way, output Q means output and these L and K yani variable factor and fixed factor stand for input. So in this way output depends upon input. Okay, and there is positive relation. So production function what explain? It explain functional relationship between input and output. It explain that there is positive relationship between input and output. If you want to increase output, you have to increase the input. When input increases, in response we get increased output. Okay, if you want to decrease your production, so first of all you have to decrease use of input and in response you get less output. Okay student, so in simply production function is what? It is a functional relationship between input and output. Okay, and there is positive relation. If input increases, output also increases. If input decreases, output also decreases. Okay, now what is written here? To it show the functional relation between physical input and physical output of a good. It can be expressed. Q is the function of F1, F2, F3, Fn, where Q is physical output of a good yani ki number of item, and F1, F2, F3 is physical input. Now, production is the creation of utility. Now, here is given what is the term production means. Production means is enhancing the utility. Okay, or transforming anything into useful goods like timber. When you make table, yeah, carpenter make table furniture, so it become useful thing. So this is what? This is production. Okay, so production is what? Creation of utility. Okay, now next is types of production. So basically it is of two type: short run production function and long run production function. So first of all I'm going to explain it in my own way. So if I talk about type of production function, types of production function. Okay, so there are two type of production function. First is short run production function. Okay, that we can represent or explain with this equation. Q is the function of L, K, and K is going to be constant. K is going to be constant. Okay, and yani ki short run production function is that production function in which only variable factor vary. Okay, only variable factor vary, yeah, changes, only variable factor changes fixed factor remain constant. So this condition when we find, so this is known as a short run production function. यानी कि we know production is result of two type of input, fixed input and variable input. If we are only making the change in variable factors for increase in the production, so this is known as a short run production function. यानी कि all variable, all the inputs are not variable, only we can make the change in variable factor, we can only make the change in variable factor. Okay, and here we are making the change only in one factor, we are making only change in one factor, so this is why it is known as a return to a factor. It is known as a return to a factor. This is the another name. Why? Because output increases or decreases just because of change in variable factor. Fixed factor is going to be constant. Okay, so these are the two things, okay, you have to keep in your mind. One more thing I think there is need to explain you, what is fixed factor and what is variable factor. Okay, so it's name clear ki those factor which are fixed, so those factors which are fixed in short period of time, that is known as a fixed factor. Variable factor, तो factors which factor which does not change with level of output, so that is known as a I had written which change with level of output, that is known as a variable factor. So fixed factors are factor like plant, machinery, equipment, permanent stock, so there is no need to make the change in it for increasing the production in short period of time. Okay, we can make only we can increase or decrease the production by only making the change in variable factor. Okay students, so let me understand. So type of production function, first of all short run production function. So in this production function, one factor are fixed, one factor of production is variable and all other are fixed. Okay, so only one is going to be changed, all other are going to be changed. So law of return to a factor is applicable. It is also called variable proportion type of production function. It is a time period which is not enough to make the change in all inputs. So in this level of production can be changed by changing the variable factor. So what you have to keep in mind, short run production function is that production function in which only variable factor is going to be changed. Okay, only labor variable factor is going to be changed. Okay, k yani fixed factor is going to be constant. Okay, so what you have to keep in mind, q is the function of L and K is going to be constant. So this is known as a short run production function. Now long run production function. So in this production function, all the factors of production are variable. So law of return to scale is applicable. It is also called constant proportion type of production function. It is a time period which is enough to make change in all inputs. So all inputs are variable in the long run. So in this level of production can be changed by changing all the input. So for the long run, what we will write in the equation Q is the function of L K, and both are variable. When all inputs are variable, so this is long run, and when variable factor is change, then it is short run. Okay. Now, next topic is total product, marginal product, and average product. So, what is total product? So, total product or total physical product refers to total quantity of a good which quantity of a goods and services produced by a firm in a given period of time. So, it is related to total quantity of a good that is produced by a firm. Okay, how we calculate total product? So, by adding marginal product, we get total product. Okay, student. Now, if we study this figure, so initially from this point, TP increases at an increasing rate. Here, from this point, TP increases at increasing rate, and from here to here, yani from L, TP increases at diminishing rate. Okay, and at point L, TP is maximum. TP is maximum. Okay, student, and after L, yani on this area, TP started to decrease. So it is all about the total product. Now come to the average product. Average product is what? It is per unit production. It is what? It is per unit production of variable factor. Okay, so when we are employing variable factor, whatever production, average production we are getting, that is known as a average production. So how we calculate AP? TP upon variable input. Okay. So here you can see the diagram. So this curve is your AP and this curve is your MP. Okay. So if I explain it in proper, so this is your average product and this is your marginal product, and this in this way this diagram is divided into 2 and 3 part. This is first part, this point yani ki L point, this is your second part, and after L point this is related to third point. So till the L, okay, when which curve is greater? When MP is greater than AP, so AP increases. Here you can see till L, who is greater? You can see ki MP, this MP curve is above, so AP is increasing. Okay, now at point L, MP is equal to AP. So this time AP is at its maximum point. Okay, now here which curve is above? So AP is above. So when AP is greater than MP, okay, so AP is started to fall. So this is the relation between AP and MP. Okay, now marginal product. Marginal product refers to the change in the total product resulting from the employment of additional unit of variable factor. In other words, it is the contribution of each additional unit of variable factor to the output. And how we calculate it? By using these equations. Okay, thank you for today's student.